Good morning. Welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. This is our Sunday morning celebration, and this is our meditation. My name is Margie Salmons, and I'm a licensed practitioner here at the center, as well as a ministerial student. And it is my honor to guide you through this meditation this morning. So I invite you to take some long, deep breaths. And just become aware of your breathing. Notice your chest or your stomach moving in rhythm with your breath. And as you inhale, feel the air coming in through your nose and filling your lungs. Notice your warm breath as you exhale. Release all the tensions of the past week on each out breath. And as you breathe in and out, just allow all thoughts to be blessed and passed on their way. Allow each inner breath to reach deeply into your body, feeling your breath as though you are breathing directly into your heart. Allow this breath of life to move powerfully through you, knowing that breath is the silent movement of spirit within you. Become aware of this sacredness, the sacredness and power of this divine essence, the one spirit within you. Take the time right now to experience this divine love, power, compassion, and joy as it moves through you and as you. Feel this power within and become open to the unlimited possibilities within you. Within this space, experience all the good in your life, all the good in all life. And just like we are moving from the cold of winter into the warmth of spring, allow this pure, unconditional love to spring forth from you and encompass the world. Like the spring's blossoms, soon to be covering the earth in flowers of beauty and fragrance, you can spread the warmth of this good, this love, as it flows from you to all. Become aware of your breathing again, breathing in and out with long, deliberate breaths. Feel the warmth and the joy of spirit in your expansion of love into the world. Now become more conscious of your body and of your physical space as you bring yourself back from this experience of sharing deep love with the world. And as you step into your week ahead, remember that your intention makes a difference in the world. Your presence makes a difference in the world. Namaste.
morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Columbus. My name is Ann Strayer. I'm a licensed practitioner, and I will be giving you the announcements today. Everyone is invited to join the Zoom Sunday celebration, and our services will be live streamed to our YouTube channel at Columbus CSL. Please feel free to share our service from our YouTube channel to your own Facebook page. For everyone on Zoom with us today, please feel free to turn on your video so we can see each other, and remember to keep yourself muted. Thank you. Everyone is invited to join us for our next Open Hearts Open Mic this Friday, March 12th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on Zoom. Watch your upcoming CCSL Weekly Word e-newsletter for the Zoom link. You can also find the link on our Facebook page. Would you like to share your amazing talents at an upcoming Open Hearts Open Mic? Contact Jim Hetzer at jahetzer@sbcglobal.net. Please join us for our new monthly CCSL community meetings that will take place the second Sunday of each month. A variety of topics are covered, and there is always time for Q&A. This meeting is not recorded. You can join us using the same Zoom link we use for our Sunday service. Our annual meeting will take place on Sunday, March 28th on Zoom at 12 p.m. Everyone is invited to attend. CCSL members will receive the nominee roster via email in the very near future, along with the Zoom sign-in information. Reminder, only members can vote for candidates. Everybody is welcome, but only members can vote. Also, all members will receive an email prior to the meeting with online voting information and instructions. It is very easy to vote. You must be present at the meeting to vote. No absentee ballots. More details are to follow. Do you have a suggestion? Email them to us at ccslsuggestionbox@gmail.com. And if you would like prayer after service or anytime throughout the week, you can find our prayer practitioners on our website, columbuscsl.org, or you can submit a prayer request on our Facebook page. That's the news for today. Let's all sing our opening song. Carisa?
I'm so excited, so delighted. You're invited to join me in joy. I'm so excited, so delighted. You're invited to join me in joy. It's rising up and we can't do
Thank you, Carissa. And good morning. My name is Reverend Amy Papadopulo, and I welcome you to Columbus Center for Spiritual Living this morning. So glad that you are here. We are an inclusive organization that honors and respects everyone, no matter where we are on our personal journey. So thank you for joining us this morning on our Zoom link. And thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel at Columbus CSL, which if you have not subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, please do so now. And remember to give it a thumbs up and ring the bell. So please read our mission statement along with me. We serve the transformation of individual lives through education, spiritual practice, and deep community using spirit and science of mind principles as our compass. I'd like to thank practitioner Margie Salmons for the meditation this morning. And also thank you, Margie, for holding virtual high watch for our service today. And now I'd like to reintroduce practitioner Ann Strayer. Ann?
Thank you, Reverend Amy. And now, with the ringing of the bowl, we begin our sacred service. I'd like to introduce our community member, Bill Fuller, who will be giving us today's reading. Bill?
Ann, it looks like I think we might have lost Bill.
I see that.
Would you be willing to do
Yeah.
our reading today? Thank you.
Honored. And what Bill would have said is a reading from Ernest Holmes, page 146, paragraph 3 of The Science of Mind. The power within. God's creative power of mind is right here. We have as much of this power to use as we believe in and embody. The storehouse of nature is filled with infinite good, awaiting the touch of our awakened thought to spring forth into manifestation in our lives. So, taking a deep breath in, how good it is to recognize, claim, and proclaim that God is all there is. God's creative power of mind is always right here, right now. It is creativity and connection, abundance, freedom, love, and joy expressing. This power is infinite and it is greater than anything we know as humans. It is the power that can overcome every perceived obstacle in our experience. And how good it is to know that we have this power within us to use as we believe, and the faith in our ability to have all that we desire to embody and become. Our nature is filled with this infinite good, awaiting the spark of our awakened thought to ignite the desired manifestations in our lives. So on this glorious, God-filled day, I accept and I expect all this goodness and all of this Godness, knowing our thoughts and actions are rightfully aligned in the highest and best of all creation. Knowing the music and the words spoken today are received with the infinite love and expression of the creative one, spirit that I know as God, and it is good. So I give heartfelt thanks and bless this service with much love and appreciation, releasing this prayer into the one divine creative law, knowing that this and something even greater is already manifesting. And so it is.
We come back. We come back. We come back to love. We come back. We come back. We come back to love. Return to love. Return to the one. We come back, coming back. We come back. We come back to love, to love, to love, to love. We come back. To love, return to love, return to the
Thank you. Thank you all. So welcome. Welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. And again, my name is Reverend Amy Papadopulo, and it is my honor to be here this morning. So it is the first Sunday in March. It is a crisp day here in Central Ohio, but it is sunny and spring is on its way. So this month, on our global themes around the world, if centers are choosing to use the global themes, which we do here in Columbus, this month, we are talking about opening to the highest idea of our lives through the spiritual practice of visioning. It is about opening up to the impress of spirit through visioning, which allows us to tap into the realm of possibilities. That realm of possibilities is a much greater realm. It's an infinite realm. It's much greater than we can even begin to imagine for ourselves. So I start there, and I start with the question of, and I invite you to ask this for yourself: what is Spirit's highest idea of life as my life? And I'll say it one more time in case you have a journal or you're taking notes. It's a very rich question to ask. What is Spirit's, or God's, or Allah, or Buddha, or whatever it is for you? What is Spirit's highest idea of life? Excuse me, I'm sorry. What is Spirit's highest idea of itself as my life? So we ask this question, and we use the spiritual practice of visioning developed by Michael Beckwith, whom we'll talk about here in a little bit. We use this spiritual practice of visioning, and it is aligned with our principles. So one of the principles, we have a list of 10 principles, I believe it's 10. One of our principles is that we believe in the direct revelation of truth through the intuitive and spiritual nature of the individual, and that any person may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. And in our Declaration of Principles, we talk about the indwelling God because we practice and believe and teach that God is all there is, that there is only one thing happening here, and that is God. And God can only know itself as it knows itself through us. So we are the ones that become the revealer of truth when we live in close contact with that indwelling God. So this spiritual practice of visioning is a process developed by Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith, who was originally trained as a Science of Mind minister and then went out on his own to find his own branch, basically, of New Thought. And he used this process of visioning to help guide the development of Agape, which is his center out in Southern California. And the idea of visioning, our lives are transformed and expanded when we live in and come from that question of what is Spirit's highest idea of itself as my life. So specifically, we're going to be talking about visioning, the process. We're going to be talking about asking questions. We're going to be talking about waiting for answers in a meditative way. And as we know in visioning, it's about capturing Spirit's idea of its highest idea for ourselves. So we ask, so there's our 5 basic questions in visioning. And the first one is, what is Spirit's highest idea of itself in my life? And we can ask what Spirit's idea is in anything that we're wanting guidance in. In fact, we have a visioning core, and our cores are elected members here at CCSL. We have a visioning core that we meet monthly, and we ask these questions. But what we ask of Spirit is, what is Spirit's highest idea for Columbus Center for Spiritual Living? But we can do this with ourselves. We can do this for our lives. And that's what Michael Beckwith tells us. And it's anything you can ask these questions about. So we ask, what is Spirit's highest idea? That's the first question. What's Spirit's highest idea? We'll just say of itself is my life. And then the next question is, what do I need to become? Or what is it for me to become to allow the vision to come forth? Because what we teach and believe is the law of cause and effect is always at hand. So first we ask, what is Spirit's highest idea? And that second question again is, what is it for me to become to allow Spirit's highest idea of this to come forth? Like we talked about last week. There was a quote in service last week where we talked about most of spiritual growth is about letting go of things and releasing things. So when we ask that question, what's Spirit's highest idea? There's an immediate answer. We ask and it is given. And then it is our job to become whatever it is to become, to get out of the way so it can come through us. That's another thing we've been talking about here this year, are the 4 stages of conscious evolution. And this is the conscious evolution stage of 3 and 4, through me and as me. So what is, first question, what is Spirit's highest idea? Second question is, what is it for me to become? Third question is, what do I need to release to bring forth this vision? And I've been visioning for a handful of years, and it's always fear. Not always, but most of the time, if I'm visioning by myself or I'm visioning in a group of people, most often it is fear that I need to release. And what is it? And then, so that's question 3. What is it do I need to release? And the fourth one is, what is it do I need to embrace? And then the fifth one is there anything else to know? So those are the 5 basic steps in visioning. So let's talk about the idea of visioning, and why we do it and how we do it. Well, we talked about how we do it, but why we do it is this. As we capture, that first question, as we capture Spirit's highest idea, we know it's already done. Sometimes we say it's already done in the mind of God, but it's already done in cause and effect because we've already asked the question, ask and it is given. So we're given the answer. And it's different. Visioning is different than visualization. Visioning is about opening up to a divine inspiration. It's tapping into that field of infinite potentiality. It's tapping into that field of the allness, the infiniteness that knows itself as us uniquely and individually as the finite. That is different than visualization. So visualization is, when I think about visualization, my daughter, who's 15, is a competitive cheerleader. And that's like from the movie Bring It On. So they hit the mat and they do all this amazing stuff with their bodies and each other. And what they would do on visualization, some athletes, many athletes, is they visualize what it's going to look like. That's different than visioning. And I'm going to share a video that Michael Beckwith, who developed the idea of visioning, he talks about the difference between visioning and visualization. So I am going to share my screen. I'm going to show you, this is just a little snippet of this video.
Explaining the difference between creative visualization and visioning.
Everyone pretty much knows about creative imagination or visualization. You know, it's pretty, many people have, you know, cut their teeth on that kind of practice. You know, you see what you want, you feel that you have it, you bring it into manifestation. There's nothing wrong with visualization at all. It's a wonderful evolutionary stage in an individual that's walking the spiritual path. The only thing about visualization is that it has a level of limitation because you can only visualize what you know already. You can take a picture out of a magazine and do a vision board. You can look at somebody else's life and visualize that for yourself, you know, so it's within a certain paradigm. Visioning is catching an idea outside of your present paradigm so that you're making yourself receptive to the spiritual idea that the universe wants to birth through you that you may not know about. In other words, you may be enculturated by your society, by your religion. In the Western world, we have all these models of success. You're successful if you have a house and 2 kids, a picket fence, 2 cars. You know, people get that and they're not happy. But someone could visualize that and manifest it and realize, oh my God, I'm still unhappy. Visioning is different. Visioning begins with the spiritual idea that there is planted within each and every one of us a powerful destiny, a powerful, unique way that the universe wants to express itself. So instead of telling the universe what we want, we instead ask a question. What is the universe's idea of my life? And we begin to catch that idea. You know, what is my growing edge? What must I become to manifest that vision? What do I already have in my house that I can use to serve the vision? What must I let go of? What does willingness look like? We ask a different kind of question because
So that was Michael Beckwith just giving a brief overview of the difference between visualization and visioning. And if you want to watch the rest of that video, it's on Mind Valley, and it's called The Power of Visioning with Michael Beckwith. So back to this idea of visioning. We're asking the universe for what the universe or God's idea for us is. And so my questions, what I think about when I think about this is, how willing am I to open up and receive the goodness that life has for me? How willing am I to open up and receive the infinite potentiality or the infinite possibilities for myself? Now, this for me, at least for me, took what I call growing my God. And when I talk about growing my God, I have really used the principles of science to mind to believe and continue to believe and grow in the idea and the belief and the embodiment that God is good, life always works out for me, and that there is an, Ernest Holmes, our founder, would say there's an upward spiral to life. A mantra that I've used is everything always works out for me. So this process for me personally has taken a bit of growing my God. And I also wanted to share a story about how I've used visioning to create something in my life. So a couple years ago, 2 years ago, this summer, I bought a different house. And it was about this time, maybe in February, I was thinking about selling the house I had before and buying a different house because it was a different part of town. And my daughter was ready for a change. We were ready for a change. So I had done visioning on what Spirit's highest idea for my daughter and I. Do we leave the current neighborhood we were in and move to a different one? And I was doing my visioning and I was doing my releasing and embracing and becoming. And the way it worked out for me was, I didn't even see this coming. I had no idea that this was going to come. So the realtor that I worked with, we put my house on the we put a coming soon sign in front of my house on Friday. And we had an offer on my house on Sunday that was above what we were going to ask for my house. And it was no inspection. It was amazing. It just kept like opening and opening. So that was incredible. And I know that was a direct result of prayer and visioning. And then the house that we ended up buying, which is where I am now and where my daughter and I live now. This house was a friend of mine. I hadn't talked to in probably 4 or 5 years. She was renting this house and her lease was going to be up and the renter wanted to sell the house. And we had just gotten in contact a couple months before as I was doing my visioning. So I ended up buying this house from the person that she was renting from directly. And it was right where we wanted it to be. And the house lives just as well as probably even better than I thought a house that I was, the other houses I was looking at. So this house, I know that was a direct result of prayer and visioning. And I was curious. At first, I wasn't curious. And I want to talk about the idea of being curious and asking questions. So questions open us up to something new. Questions invite curiosity as a way of being in the world. And so when we start asking those questions of what is Spirit's highest idea in my life, what it does is it breaks us away from what we think we know and what we think we want and invites something greater within us. So as I was looking for a house, I had gone out with my realtor and I looked in the neighborhood that we're in now, and there was nothing that I liked. I had an idea of what I wanted, and I was frustrated. I didn't know. And I just kept practicing releasing and opening and letting go, not knowing that the house that we're in now was going to open up from my friend whom I hadn't talked to in 4 or 5 years. So the question, I think, in my mind becomes, are we willing to be surprised by what we discover? So what if Spirit, as we're visioning, serves up something that surprises you? If everything is for our growth and if for our expansion of consciousness, and if everything is about, if so much of what we're experiencing is about letting go of that which doesn't serve and allowing Spirit to come forth in us, I think the question becomes, how willing are we to be more interested in our spiritual growth than for advocating for our limitations? So I can ask you that directly. How willing are you to be more interested in your spiritual growth? Or in another way, how interested are you in allowing Spirit to come through you, in you, and as you? Gosh, then you are about arguing for your limitations. I know, I do that. Not enough time, not enough this, not enough help, not enough, blah, blah, blah. But I tell you, when I am in my groove, doing my spiritual practice, I open to that question. How willing and open am I to allow and receive and be grateful that spirit works in us, through us, and as us? And this takes a willingness, I think, on our parts, I know on our parts, to be open to not knowing what's going to happen. Are you willing to be open and not know? And I think that's where also practicing that the universe is for us and never against us. The idea of growing our God so that we can open to the goodness of the universe. And that's what we teach here, is that God is good all the time. So as we develop our faith and God is good all the time, the more we can release, the more we can have faith and step into those places of the unknown and ask those questions. What is it for me to do? Now, I think one of the things that's really important too is, notice we say, what is Spirit's highest idea for me? What is it for me to release? What is it for me to embrace? Notice, and I think this is a very Western enculturated habits. Notice I haven't said, why is Spirit wanting to do this through me? I do think that there's power in the why when it comes to, like, why have I always been doing this so that I can figure out whatever I want to change, if I want to change something. But when we ask why of Spirit, I don't know, I don't think, I don't believe. We don't teach that our finite brains can understand the infinite. So sometimes I teach, and I've said it, I think about why. It's like a dog chasing its tail. So the questions really become, what is it that Spirit wants to express through my unique individualization? How can I grow from this? How can this serve me? How can this serve my loved ones? How can this serve my community? So it's more about, what is it, God? And how, God? Guide me, guard me, and direct me. When I say guard, what I think of is not guard from something evil, because we don't believe in evil. We don't believe in a duality. But guard is kind of, I think of as like when you go bowling and those guardrail thing, those bumper bowling. That's the guarding. That's like, you know, we talk about in our philosophy, open at the top. We're not wide on the sides, but we're rooted. We're deep, we're guided, guarded, and directed. And it's going to be different for all of us. So with that said, I want to share one more video with you. And this is, again, Michael Beckwith giving a talk and talking about revealing that which the infinite has implanted within each of us. So this is Michael Beckwith at his, in his groove. Enjoy.
You catching it? You catching it? In other words, there is an energetic idea, a frequency of information about you. Just as within every seed, there's information in that seed about the type of plant or tree that seed will become when it is placed in the proper condition. Within you is a divine idea that has infinite potential and infinite possibilities about your unfolding. And when placed within the proper condition, that idea unfolds, and it does not take, it reveals. It unfolds. It does not improve. It unfolds to reveal what is already there. You understand what I'm saying? Many of you have probably seen the experiment where they have taken a very small tree, weighed the tree, and placed it in a vat or a bathtub full of dirt. They weighed the dirt, they weighed everything, they placed the tree in the bathtub, and then they began to water it, give it its proper light, etc. And the tree grows, grows, grows. It becomes very substantial. They take the tree out. They weigh the tree. It's grown. It's grown at a very great magnitude. It weighs a lot more than it was when it was a little sapling. And then they go back and weigh the dirt. And the dirt is the same weight that it was when the little sapling went in. That the tree didn't take anything from the dirt, but the dirt and the water and the nutrition and the sunlight activated the energy, the energetic information within the tree, so that literally almost out of nothing, the tree flourished and became itself. Now within you, there is an idea, there is a destiny, there is a unique pattern that does not come from the world, doesn't come from society, doesn't come from your parents, doesn't come from anything already out there. It comes from you. And when you
I loved that. When I was thinking about visioning, the idea comes from within us. We are that seed, and it's planted within us. That is who we are. So in closing, why are we talking about visioning? Why are we talking about visioning? What is this all for? It is about and for our individual and collective evolution. Life is always evolving. The spiral of life is upwards. When we say life is good, it is life affirming. The spiral of life is upwards. What's it all for? Individual and collective evolution. Moving beyond the conditioned ideas. Our conditioned ideas, like Pavlov's dog of conditioning, there's scarcity and fear and separation. But when we catch Spirit's highest idea for the vision of our life, it allows us to tap into what we call the collective consciousness. The collective consciousness, the infinite potentiality. Life is good, life is for us. It's an evolution, it's a spiral upwards. Our part is to do our part, is to shift out of the fear and the scarcity and the separation. Ours is to participate in the spiritual evolution of humanity. Talked about Hannibal as Hannibal sent his elephants across the mountains, and the scouts would go out. Oftentimes new thoughters, religious scientists, think of ourselves as the scouts. We're not here just to manifest our personal desires, although that is important. But in the Centers for Spiritual Living, we believe. And I would encourage you, if this is what you believe, or if you know other people that believe this same thing, invite them to our center. Invite them to come to a Zoom Sunday morning service, or invite them to a class, or invite them to watch our service on YouTube. If you know people that resonate, there's so many people that resonate with our message and our philosophy. I believe that just are not connected with a community, with a group of individuals that think alike. I invite you to invite them. We're about awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We're here to be part of the awakening and the evolution, and visioning is part of that. So here's our call to action for this week. And I say our because it's mine as well. Our call to action this week, as we think about visioning for the month of March, ask a higher question. Notice that there are no, why, God, do you want me to do this? Abraham didn't ask that when God called him in the Old Testament to sacrifice his son. We have faith, we trust, we follow. Our call to action is to live in a state of curiosity. Our call to action is to remain open to the possibilities. Our call to action is to remain open to experience a life beyond that which we can imagine in our finite minds. And really, our call to action is to imagine and be that place where a world that works for everyone, that comes through us individually and eventually comes through us in our community. The alignment and the highest expression of the divine in a world that works for everyone, one person at a time, starting with me. So let's take this into prayer. As I go within to that place where I know when I set my intention, the allness, the infinitude of spirit meets me exactly where I am. And I open to that. I open to that infiniteness of love and light and life and beauty and joy and wisdom and abundance. For I know that these are the qualities of the one living God. And I know because there is only that one, I too am one with that one. That I too have to be that divine expression, a unique divine expression of love, light, and life, beauty, joy, wisdom, and abundance. And so I speak a word right here and right now for myself, for every person hearing my voice, whether it's on the Zoom, in the Zoom meeting, on YouTube, or listening later. I claim for us an opening. I claim for us a willingness to be in the question, to ask higher questions, and be open to the infinite guidance of the one as we are here to evolve ourselves, to evolve humanity, and it happens through us, as us, and in us. I claim for each one of us this, and even more, so much more, this or something better than even my finite mind can comprehend. I open it up, I allow it, I say yes, because I receive it. I release it to that law, and I am grateful because I know it is done. I allow it, I open, I say yes, and I say thank you because I know it is complete. So please join with me in saying, and so it is. So now is the time for the giving of our gifts, giving of our gifts, the giving of our tithes, the giving of the support that we give to the center. And I want to continue to thank you for all of the ways that you all have been supporting the center and giving to the center during this time. We appreciate your gifts, your donations. And it is important because it helps us to fulfill our vision statements and helping to create a world that works for everyone. And with this, I want to go back to a talk that I gave a couple weeks ago when I said everyone here is volunteers except our operations director. So we still have bills to pay. We still have people to pay. We have rent. We also pay our musicians. I wanted to make sure that you all know that part of your gifts also go to provide for the amazing music that we have here today. So as we engage in that law of circulation, we remember that God is our source, that we are simply circulating Spirit's energy and the form of money by giving and receiving. So please say our affirmation with me. My gift goes forth to heal and bless and prosper, and it does its good and perfect work and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
Flowing in the stream, moving in the flow, opening to the all, letting it go. Flowing in the stream, moving in the flow, opening to the all, letting it go. Letting it go, letting it go. Flowing in the stream, moving in the flow, opening to the all, letting it go. Flowing in the stream, moving in the flow, opening to the all. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. I open up my hands. In it comes, in it comes. I open up my hands and out it goes, infinite all that is and all that ever was. I am open, I am flowing in the stream, moving in the flow, opening to the all, letting it go. Flowing in the stream, moving in the flow, opening to the all. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. Flowing in the stream.
Breathing into the flow, I recognize that there is only one source of supply. It is God, and it is good. And God is all, is the supply that flows through us as it flows back to us, multiplied abundantly. And I say yes, please, and thank you as I claim even more prosperity for our entire community, knowing Spirit's bounty is truly unlimited. I express gratitude for each gift and each giver and the blessings that come from both. I give thanks for this ever expanding and evolving that is the law of circulation. So I simply bless these words and let them go into the law, knowing something even better is already done for the highest and best And together we ground this affirmative prayer with the words, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you. I'd like to thank our practitioners, Margie Salmons for meditation, and Strayer for assisting us today. Bill Fuller for the reading. Well, actually, Bill Fuller, thank you for intending to do the reading. He said that his Zoom crashed when he unmuted. So Bill, please know that we would love to have you back on as a community reader another time. Thank you, Jay Westfall, for moderating on YouTube today. Thank you, Robin Brookhouse, for hosting Zoom. Thank you so much to our beloved song leader, Carisa Holmes. Yes, thank you for our center trio, Tony Bernardi on piano, Joe Nelson on drums, and Steve Paracas on bass. Thank you also to Tony. Thank you for providing the music for meditation and for the different places that you played the piano today. It's so lovely when we have our live musicians with us. So thank you all for the ways that you have contributed today to help make our Sunday service possible. If you are joining us for the first time today, welcome. We're glad you're here. We'd love to send you a welcome packet in the mail with information about us. You could contact us at the office. You can find that number or our mailing address on our website. You can also send us a private Facebook message. If you know someone who is in this consciousness, or if you know someone who you think would resonate with our community and with our teachings, please share this information with us. Share our website, share our talks, share our philosophy, Centers for Spiritual Living, share Michael Beckwith. I mean, I really think that especially during this time of the pandemic, that and right now in our life, we are ripe to get this message out to the world. So I encourage all of us to just be aware and awake and be sensitive to those people that might resonate with our philosophy. It is really an empowering philosophy that can and has changed people's lives. And I know it's changed mine. So with that said, also, if you're not receiving the emails about our weekly service and our weekly offerings, please contact the office or send us a private Facebook message. And also with those emails, you can forward those emails to your friends, or people, your friends, your colleagues, anybody that resonates with this. You can also share our emails with them. So with that said, we're going to close our service with our blessing and then a wonderful song from our musicians. So please say our blessing with me. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And so it is.
Change the world one heart at a time. We can make it if we stand together. We can make it work for everyone. Stand strong. We can change the world one heart at a time. To begin. Together we can win, my friend. We can change the world one heart at a time. We can make it if we stand the world one heart at a time. We can make it if we stand together. We can make it work for everyone. Stand strong. We can change the world one heart at a time. To begin, look within. Take my hand. Together we can win, my friend. We can change the world one heart at a time. We can change the world one heart at a time. We can make it if we stand together. We can make it work for everyone. Stand strong. We can change the world one heart at a time. Stand strong. We can change the world one heart at a time. Blessings to you and yours. Have a beautiful week.